Hello and welcome to episode 107 of the Middle-Aged Outlaws podcast. We continue on our navigation through Lucha Underground Season 2 as WWE continues to be morally bankrupt, Adam. We continue to be fans of Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
Particularly Season 1. Please watch it if you've not. And as we're going through, I mean, we've done episodes 1 to 8 now. I think we thought that Season 2 started with a bang. I was just about to share with you before we started recording that I was a little bit whelmed with episodes 4 and 5.
Okay.
No. What did we do today?
5.
5 to 8.
5 to 8.
I was whelmed with 5 and 6, but my God, 7 and 8 just hit like crack, as they say.
Nice.
It's incredible.
Nice.
Would you like to just crack on with a recap of episode 5?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so this episode is named The Machine from the 559.
You gave that a lot of gusto. I like
thanks.
that. Yeah.
Am I on episode 5? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, episode 5 kicks off with Pentagon and his mentor, the not Ian Hodgkinson, but the very sinister Vampiro. They're in the dojo. And we get a little bit of a background to Vampiro and Vampiro / Ian Hodgkinson and his relationship with Penta, including their Cero Miedo match that they had at, remind me the name of our...
Is that Ultima Lucha?
Ultima Lucha.
Yeah.
Yep. And that tells quite a compelling story, almost as if there's 3 people involved in this relationship, not just 2. And then we have Vampiro in the dojo telling Pentagon Jr. that nothing can stand in his way.
Yeah.
Did they show Vampiro's face? I watched this episode quite some time ago. I'm just going based off notes. Did they show Vampiro's episode? They show his face in the dojo. Do you recall?
I can't remember.
I feel like he was back to being the sort of faceless, sinister master. But I don't.
It would make sense because he was kind of, talking around that way, like we'd seen before. So yeah.
He wasn't he? Almost like a different voice.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see where they go with their story because, like we said the last time, Vampiros just went back to commentating.
Mm-hmm.
He is every now and again. He's basically a kind of a cheerleader for Pentagon Jr. now.
Yeah.
On commentary, but
yeah, he doesn't stay very neutral whenever Pentagon's featured, and he gets kind of invested in his frustration with him at times.
Yes. This kid and all this sort of stuff,
Yeah.
We kick off with our first match in the temple for this episode. Has Jack Evans got a nickname? I was going to say Jumping Jack Evans.
Nah.
It's your boy Jack Evans versus the Darewolf PJ Black. And Jack immediately grabs the mic from Melissa. He says, let a professional do the talking. But unfortunately can't cut a promo very well.
No. Like, if you're going to grab the mic off, the professional ring announcer, you've got to have something. He's
not great, is he? And he's trying to do the whole, like, Ric Flair style and profile and stuff. He's talking about being a dragon slayer after his encounter with Drago on the last few episodes. But, yeah, I have got my notes here that these two are probably, at this moment in time, the 2 most insignificant wrestlers in Lucha Underground. That's quite unfair, but...
It's harsh, but I'm not sure I could argue it.
Yeah, okay, good. I'm glad. Well, maybe Famous B, but up until this point, anyway.
Well, we'll get there with our Famous B chat.
I think Jack Evans, I don't remember if we said this before, is a very good seller.
Mm-hmm.
He's quite over the top on the Dolph Ziggler scale of selling.
Yeah.
He's, if he was put there just to sell, it would be, he'd be like a good jobber.
Yeah,
almost.
You could see him in there with someone like Cage just getting his ass kicked.
Aye. Yeah. And doing like triple flips as he gets clotheslined and stuff and making him look like a monster.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Striker like drooling over this boy PJ Black.
Yeah.
He refers to him as a scintillating surgeon at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Which
And I'm pretty sure Vampiro refers to him as BJ Black.
Does he?
Yeah. I couldn't tell if it was deliberate or not.
At some point, it becomes apparent during this match that Drago is watching on.
Yeah.
I think he's maybe got his nunchucks flying about with him.
Yeah.
We get a nice German suplex with a bridge by PJ Black. He hits a lovely brain buster, but it's Drago that becomes a bit of a distraction. I think, yes, Evans grabs himself a bottle of water, launches it at Drago, and as he's distracted, PJ Black, the Darewolf, hits a cutter and gets the win. Oh no, that's I'm just creating my own reality. I'm way back playing my pro wrestling sim game.
Yeah.
That's nonsense.
I've got Drago accidentally spraying PJ Black with the mist when he was aiming for Jack Evans.
Correct.
Yeah.
Thank you. I might do that for every match. Just come up with a different finish. And
see if I was and currently am paying attention.
So then we get a new thing that we've not had before. We're getting a video package for Famous B, who up to this point has been a famous jobber, pretty much. He is sort of, well, he's acting with a lot of charisma that we've definitely not seen from Famous B before.
True.
He's giving off like he's a car salesman, like a television car salesman, classic sort of advert on the TV. It's very confusing, and it's just a bit like, oh right, okay, we need to go with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've not been historically his biggest backer. I feel like for a guy that had Famous in his name, he lost a lot of matches. But I saw this and I thought, I kind of just have to let it play out and see where they're going to take us.
Spoken like a true WWE fan. But Famous B seems to be suggesting that if you call this number something famous, he's going to make you famous.
Yeah.
I feel like I've heard that catchphrase before back in wrestling.
Yeah. It was something about entering the wrong guy's yard or something like that.
Yeah, well, in the temple, that could mean anything.
Yeah, true.
When Marty Martinez is going about the place. Old Booger B. Anyway, Famous B, we're being it was almost, if you'd never seen Jeff Jarrett before and those things started coming on the TV on episodes of Raw, it's a bit like that, eh?
Yeah.
All right, this guy's a country singer, right? Okay. Yeah. This guy's a car salesman. It's going to make you famous.
I did wonder what he did, like in his spare time when he wasn't, getting beat in the temple. But,
did you?
Yeah, we've got our answers now.
Do you think we'll get the same for like the guy? I forget his name every time. I'm a little bit obsessed with this guy. You think I'd remember his name? The sort of Italian 90s looking jobber. I wonder. He's like sitting about like, hey, giving it all that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, we've got King Cuerno versus Killshot up next. Did they wrestle the last time?
I think they maybe did.
King Cuerno's making a bit of a thing of not putting up his Gift of the Gods title.
Yeah.
And again, that's what we're getting here. He's not defending the title, which is, if Dario was here, I think he would be telling them to ring the bell and it being a title shot.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We have all the respect in the world for Katarina and obviously Mil running the show, but I'm not sure they're entirely neutral with a lot of their decision making. But I suppose you could say Dario wasn't always as well.
Well, that's true. That is a flaming hot take though about Katarina and Mil Muertes. And who knew he could talk? By the way.
Yeah.
Is that the first time he's?
I think so.
Aye. Okay, we'll get to it. King Cuerno versus Killshot. I think we've definitely seen it before. Both are very good in the ring, quite similar.
Yeah.
Killshot, I'm not going to call him Kill Switch this time. Killshot, very tall, lots of kicks. King Cuerno, we like. I'll not go through all the bits and pieces. I think we get a big trade as we move towards the end. The two of them trading big kicks, which both like to do. Killshot goes for a springboard moonsault. As he's coming past him, almost, Quinquerno just volleys his head.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And Quinquerno gets himself a nice, clean finish, which I was actually surprised with in this. I thought we were doing this for sort of storytelling purposes, but just a nice, clean finish.
We'll get there, but as soon as he went over clean here, I thought, oh, they're going to pivot in some way. It started to make sense for him to be winning matches if they turn things a little bit, but we'll get there.
So Quinquerno gets the win with the thrill of the hunt. He then picks up Killshot again. He's going to go for his tombstone driver, spinny tombstone type thing after the bell, but Fenix interrupts and runs him off. Is that what you're talking about? Yes.
Yeah.
Next up, we get a gauntlet match between, can you say his name, please?
Tayano.
And Chavo Guerrero and the crew.
Yeah.
So this is a thing that we've not seen, and I love the idea of this. Tejano basically wants Chavo Guerrero, he needs to get through solo members of the crew first in a gauntlet style match. I like it. You're shaking your head, are you?
No, I did like it. See, when they explained to us what was about to happen, I kind of thought that this might go a bit longer. But I suppose they've very much focused on the teamwork of the crew. But I mean, who could cope with the offense of Tayano? But they basically they get eliminated without too much effort here.
Yeah, and that does play into what's going on, I suppose, doesn't it? Yeah. So first in is Mr. Cisco to face Tejano. Is Mr. Cisco the undercover? No, he's not.
No, it's
he's the other
Cortez.
one. Mr. Cisco is hit with an unbelievable super kick that sounds like a bullet is shot out of a gun and immediately pinned. Chavo is not happy. Cortez Castro is in next. Chavo manages to distract Tejano to allow Cortez Castro to get on top a little bit. But Chavo's like on the side, banging the mat, desperate for a lot of, basically for Cortez Castro to put an absolute beating on Tejano, so that even if he does get through, he's getting him at his weakest.
Yeah.
But Cortez gets hit with a pop-up powerbomb from Tejano, which I think is his finishing move, and he is done as well.
Yeah.
Just like that, ran through the crew, who were quite a formidable team in season one.
They were, yeah. It's maybe we underestimated Bale. I mean, it's from when he was murdered, I don't think they've won an awful lot of matches.
Yeah, the secret sauce, Bale. So Chavo is in immediately, and he's straight on top of Tejano, as you would expect. Doesn't give him any time. Attacks him from behind. But Tejano does manage to get things going. He hits a huge big clothesline, as he likes to do. But Chavo does finally manage to get the win with the help of the undercover cop, who is Cortez Castro, who holds down Tejano's feet as he lays outside and allows Chavo to get the pin.
I had some question marks about the refereeing. Like, I'm not saying he should be noticing that the foot's being held down, but the feet are very clearly under the ropes.
Now, have we had a... Yes, we have. I can recall even in these last few episodes, somebody puts the feet up on the rope, because sometimes things just kind of get let go.
Yeah.
And Katarina's tempos, different rules for different folks.
Yeah, true.
This storyline is not over because Tejano then chases all three of them out the temple.
Yeah.
Temple after the bell. We go 375 miles from Boyle Heights as we hear screams from inside where Matanza is housed. Black Lotus asks how much longer they need to be there to Dario Cueto. Dario says he needs his brother to have a little more practice before they can return. More practice eating people.
Seems that way. He's putting the blame fully on her as well. You know, she started this war, he says. So now the brother needs more practice.
He goes into quite a compelling backstory about Matanza, about how he saved Dario's life from their abusive mother, and he used the Red Bull, not the drink, that Dario carries about with him, to crack her over the head and save Dario's life. Matanza's a hero.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Certainly in Dario's story, anyway.
Yeah, we hadn't really heard that side before, but he's a very different character to what the lies have told us.
A sensitive, soft-centred young man.
Yeah.
We're back at the temple with Pentagon Jr. He demands that he gets the chance to teach Prince Puma a lesson to Katarina. She is kind of befuddled. She's just a bit like, why on earth would you even bother asking me this after you broke Mil Muertes' arm?
Mm.
They then have just a Tarantino, Kill Bill-esque fight where she now seems to be able to control the lights and be able to move from places in the blink of an eye.
I buy it.
Yep. You buy it, okay.
Yep.
So he does get her in the position of being able to break her arm, but the lights flicker and she disappears. She says that he can get Puma next week, but be warned, putting your hands on me was the worst mistake you've ever made. Mm-hmm. So not only has he broke Mil's arm, he's now made further mistakes by trying to break Katarina's arm.
Yeah.
Is Vampiro aware of his behaviour backstage? Should he be keeping an eye on him a bit more?
Yeah, I suppose we never really know that. If that's supposed to be happening in actual time while the show's going on, we know that Vampiro wouldn't know that because he's at the announce desk and we know that they don't see what's
Yes, yeah. Okay, our main event for this episode is Johnny Mundo versus Cage. I've got my notes here. Did Stryker just quote Pink Floyd in reference to Cage, but I don't remember what he said.
I'm sure he did, and I've got I've got it in my notes as well, but I've not got the actual lyric.
Okay. To start off with, the arrogant Johnny Mundo slaps the shit out of Cage, which is just a terrible thing to do, as this just riles up the machine and he goes to town. Lots of brawling to start off with this match. Mundo, once he does manage to get some offense in, he's going back to playing at the crowd, and Cage doesn't take this lightly, takes his head off with a clothesline. Stryker does a horrendous... I'm just following my notes here. Stryker does some sort of horrendous impression of Mike Tyson.
It's awful.
For some reason. Is it because, did he say... I think Vampiro says something like Cage has hit him so hard it's like Mike Tyson or something like that.
It's a terrible impression. He shouldn't do that again.
No, definitely no. Cage, I'm just moving forward my notes here. Cage eventually tries to hit like an F5 type thing, Lucha Destroyer they call it, and it looks like it's enough to get the pin, but Johnny gets his foot on the rope. Mundo manages to get Cage in the corner, go for the end of the world, but misses. We get a discus lariat by Cage, and he follows up with Weapon X. However, someone runs in and leaves a lead pipe lying in the corner of the ring. It's the same lady that helped Johnny Mundo in his Ultima Lucha match against Cage, right?
Was it?
I think so.
Okay.
You're not convinced?
I didn't feel like I'd seen this woman before. But
okay. They are saying it's Taya from Mexico, according to Stryker and Vampiro, I think. She distracts the ref, allowing Johnny to nail Cage with a lead pipe, and Johnny Mundo gets the win. I did look it up. This is John Morrison Hennigan's real life wife, Taya Valkyrie. Was she Melina?
Was she Melina?
In WWE? Let's look it up. Melina, WWE is not the same person. Okay.
Yeah, because it was Melina the last time, wasn't it?
Okay, so it is a different person. Okay.
Yeah. So I think Melina was his manager in WWE.
And it was her. Yes, because they went like, "That's Melina."
Yeah.
Or something, didn't they? Okay.
So the name that you've just said rings a bell, so I assume she's fairly established as a wrestler herself.
I think they mention her. Well, they say it's from Mexico, so I assumed she'd been in wrestling in AAA or something like that. She's clearly quite a good wrestler, and we're told in a later episode that she was trained by Lance Storm, so she must be probably in the top 99% of wrestlers.
Of course, yeah.
So Johnny Mundo gets another cheap win over Cage, basically, is the end result. As we go off the air, we get taken into Katrina's office. King Cuerno comes in and he says he's fed up of Fenix. He says he wants Mil Muertes as he presents his gift to the gods bell, as is his right to do. She says that we had a deal. He says, too bad.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, there's no rules in this tempo. Katarina says, well, unfortunately for you, I already have a match scheduled for you next week. You'll be defending your gift to the gods title in a ladder match. I mean, what would you rather, a match with Mil Muertes or a ladder match defending your title?
So I suppose if I'm going against Mil Muertes, I'd rather do it when he's got a broken arm. But obviously he would still beat the shit out of me. Phoenix, we know, has had a bit of success against Mil Muertes before. So maybe he, can beat King Cuerno. For Katarina, this seems like a risky strategy because King Cuerno's had enough of their nonsense and not giving him the opportunity. But the person that she's going to give a chance at that opportunity to is Fenix.
The only man that's made Mil Muertes look mortal, essentially.
Yeah. So, I don't know, from Katarina's point of view, maybe she should have just let King Cuerno have the match with Mil. So do we know what happens with the Gift of the Gods title if they cash it in for their challenge and lose? Does it become something that performers then compete for again to win?
I wondered the same thing. I wondered as soon as, obviously Money in the Bank, you cash it in and that's it.
Mm-hmm. So I suppose win or lose, as soon as you've cashed this in, it's not there anymore.
Yeah. I expected the Gift of the Gods to go on. I definitely didn't think by episode, whatever it is, we're going to be at 9 or something like that it's going to be cashed in, did you?
No, I thought that would go on a while. I thought maybe even all the way to, we mentioned it, either Ultima Lucha. But then they have other things that give you opportunities, don't they?
True. And if El Jefe returns, then he's all about giving opportunities. Katarina does not seem to be I think giving.
Obviously, a lot of respect for Katarina. I think I prefer her more in the wild card role than her running the show.
Okay. She is on it probably a little bit more when she's running the show.
And I'm sure that that's putting butts in seats, I'm sure. Yeah.
Okay, take it away with episode 6, Gift of the Gods ladder match. Quite a mystic, cryptic title. Yeah,
it started it left me thinking, what on earth is going to happen in this? Oh yeah, we heard last week. We're going to see the sexy, a recap of the Sexy Star, Marty the Moth, and the Mac story. We're going to get a recap of the Prince Puma and Pentagon situation, and where we're at with King Cuerno, Fenix, and Katarina. Mil Muertes is not happy with Katarina, but she says if it wasn't for her, and I think she name checks him with his real name there, he wouldn't be where he is. Mil gets a wee bit physical with Katarina and says, give me Pentagon and Puma, I will bury them. She says no and does her disappearing act, just vanishing.
Well, here's a question for you, Adam. What do you think about her mentioning that she's known him since he was a little boy?
It's slightly problematic, isn't it?
Is there any further backstory that you're aware of that would explain why? Is she death? Because she talks to Fenix about coming back to life.
I assume something like that. Yeah, I was going to say that would make sense, but that's
in this context
where we're at. Yeah.
We want her to be death because we don't want her. Yeah.
Yeah, it all makes sense in the temple. Anyway, it's fine. We're going to go to our first match, which is going to be Sexy Star against Cobra Moon. So I think at a previous episode we had a little video package for Cobra Moon, who was going to be debuting.
She has had the one match. Remember, she was doing that flicky tongue thing quite a lot.
Yes, that's right.
Nobody liked it.
And I'm immediately wondering what kind of emotional, mental scars Sexy Star is still carrying after Marty the Moth and this mysterious sister creature. But she's there. She's competing in the match. Cobra Moon dominating early on. And we're going to see the Mac appear. And the Mac is going to be doing a bit of cheerleading for Sexy Star. We get various moves, counters, Cobra Moon, armbar into a slam. Sexy Star locks in what's I think described as a pendulum surfboard move.
Okay, yep.
And looks to have the win in the bag, but we see her release it, and we're thinking, oh, what's going on there? And it's because she has seen Marty the Moth up in the stands. She is freaking out, and quite rightly so. We're going to then go to, with the distraction, a Dragon Sleeper with a body scissors by Cobra Moon, and Sexy Star is going to tap out. Cobra Moon is going to get the mate with a win. I feel like the Mac didn't really step up there. I feel like, all you need to do is just make sure that Marty isn't, distracting me, getting involved, anything like that. He's dropped the ball a wee bit.
Questionable from the Mac, yep.
Mm-hmm. We're going to have another one of these Famous B videos. Again, sort of car salesman style, but talking about basically, I think, selling advice and training and things like that to performers. I just can't imagine that many people who have watched Famous B get his ass kicked are looking, thinking, this is the guy I want to train me. Maybe one day I can be a jobber. I don't know if that's where anyone aims right from the start. It's where a lot of people land, no doubt. But I'm feeling after a couple of these like it just feels a wee bit too on the nose here. Like, are they just openly mocking him being a jobber by having him sell this kind of thing? Next up, we've got Rey Mysterio. He catches El Dragon Azteca watching the Famous B advert.
I like that transition. That was class.
He immediately starts him in traiing.
Hey, there's no time for TV, Dominic.
Yes, stop watching TV, slacker. We're going to get King Cuerno video, which is, doing a little bit of a, here's who King Cuerno is, here's what he's going for, and obviously this all ties in with him going to be having to defend his Gift of the Gods title coming up. He says when he wins tonight, he will not just be a hunter, he will be a god, and then the next Lucha Underground champion. Next matchup, we're going to have Prince Puma against Pentagon. Vampiro, who I'm always avidly listening to whenever Pentagon is performing, it's interesting because he's obviously siding with Pentagon and sometimes sounds really biased and then gets a bit frustrated with him. But he also gets frustrated with the other performers as well whenever they're getting caught up in any crowd reactions or anything like that. He's sort of accusing them of not having the killer instinct they require and things like that. When these two last fought, Pentagon thought he had the win, but Prince Puma got his shoulder up in it was a bridge suplex.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And Puma then didn't take the chance to break Pentagon's arm when it was there. So I was wondering if that might be something he ends up regretting. There's, as you would expect in this match, there's a lot of highlights, too many to talk about them all. But I do like there's the continued viciousness that comes across in the way Pentagon performs. And I feel like at times he's kind of dragging Puma towards that as well.
Yeah.
And Puma we've talked about him feeling and looking a little bit lost and leaderless. So I thought it was quite a good little story angle for him to be being kind of caught up in maybe some of the darker ways in these matches.
Yeah. And with the champion being such a dark force as well, I definitely agree with what you're saying.
We get some Vampiro, a situation where he is berating Pentagon for distracting himself by arguing with the referee. Puma misses his 630 splash but lands on his feet. Whole host of moves between the two, moves, counters, and then Mil Muertes starts slowly walking down the steps as Pentagon gets a near fall from a Mexican destroyer.
Yep.
We get Mil taking the sling off as Pentagon tries to set up a package pile driver. Mil comes in, sidewalk slam on Pentagon. The ref's going to wave this match off. Prince Puma trying some kicks, but Mil's done. He's not here to play right now. They both catch big spears from Mil Muertes. Mil hits a flatliner on both men simultaneously. And if their goal here is to make Mil Muertes look like an unbeatable monster, I think they're achieving that right here. Both guys can't cope with him. Katerina says to Mil that all he needed was a bit of motivation. He always seems to be playing these games like when they've had falling outs and arguments. She's kind of planting the seed that this is how it was intended to go all along. He says next week he will defend his title against both of these men. This is his temple and nobody can stop him. He says that himself, yeah?
Yeah.
And then we're going to hear that in 3 weeks, it's going to be time for Aztec Warfare Part 2.
Yes.
So this is 20 luchadors, and basically the winner at the end of this multi-person match is going to be the number one contender for the Lucha Underground title.
Correcto. Is it only one pin? There's no eliminations, is there?
I try to remember the way it actually worked.
They came in. They came in order of their whatever number they'd drawn, similar to a rumble or whatever. But I think you're right. I think it was submission and pin.
Okay.
I think we'll get
It'll all
reminded
come
when we
back to
get
us.
to it.
Yeah. We are now going to go to the Gift of the Gods ladder match. Gift of the Gods title ladder match. King Cuerno defending his title against Fenix. Fast start by Fenix in the match. He is flying over the top onto Cuerno on the floor. I do like watching Fenix.
He's definitely grown on me massively. I didn't love him to start off with.
Did you think he was a wee bit sort of generic?
Flippy, aye.
Yeah, nothing really standing out about him. But then they've leaned so heavily into big stories for him. They've sort of done the same for Drago a lot of the time, and I'm not sure he's ever really... Yeah. We get Cuerno powerbombing Fenix onto a ladder. Fenix halfway up a ladder and Cuerno tips it over. Vampiro does not like Cuerno not going for finishes after these big high-impact moves. I've got Cuerno knocks Fenix out of the ring, and it looks like he didn't land brilliantly.
Yeah, like they were trying to do something.
Mm-hmm.
He had a couple of ladders set up, and he just sort of dumped him like it's not happening.
Yeah. Cuerno drops Fenix face first onto a ladder. Cuerno stalking Fenix.
I liked it. That's the first time he's done that, right? He's almost like prowling around the ring, quite far away from him, watching him. Loved that.
I felt like he was doing some of that stuff right at the start, right at the beginning of his run in Lucha Underground. He's not really done it for a while. I think it's a part of his character, so they should keep with that. Cuerno using the ladder to take a running leap onto Fenix. Fenix gets sent into the crowd. Both men climb up the ladder. Cuerno wants to suplex Fenix off it. Fenix fights back, knocks Cuerno off the ladder down onto the floor. We then get a dive by Fenix off the office roof down onto Cuerno.
That's insane to think he did that.
These guys are killing themselves here. Cuerno shoves Fenix off a platform onto a ladder set up against the ring. Cuerno going in for the kill, but the ladder hits the post and he is fucked. That's what I thought. I don't really remember exactly how that looked. Cuerno knocks down Fenix with the ladder. He's climbing the ladder, but I've missed something in my notes. It finishes with a but.
Oh, Fenix hits a springboard dropkick as Cuerno's climbing the ladder and knocks him off.
So somebody in my house, well, my wife will have shouted something, and I've gone to answer, and then I'll have just never finished my note.
I think it's just at that point that Vampiro says, like, some of the people in the crowd are starting to look a bit freaked out at like the levels that these two are going at.
Fenix crashes and burns while leaping to knock Cuerno off the ladder. Both men are holding on to the title hooks. The ref gets the ladder out the way, and I was relieved at that because they both crashed down to the mat, and I thought that might have been quite ugly. Thrill of the hunt, and Cuerno can now climb the ladder or not. He has a table and wants to hit the thrill of the hunt from the ropes through the table, but Fenix fights out of it. Fenix hits a Hurricane Rana through the table. Fenix climbs the ladder and lifts the Gift of the Gods title.
Absolute insanity. Some of the stuff they're putting themselves through in this match is crazy.
It was a violent one.
Cuerno trying to then go for the thrill of the hunt through a table after all that they've been through. Mm-hmm. As I've written in my notes, like, surely there's no need for that at this point.
And I found myself, you know how in most episodes you get a little bit at the end, like usually a bit of storyline, something. I was waiting for the bit, and I thought, they've just decided to end it here because that was so, I think, dramatic as a match.
Yeah.
We've. It's not really worked out too well for King Cuerno, but is this good news for Mil and Katarina? Maybe not.
Well, Cuerno's had a deal with the devil, and it's not worked out for him. Yeah. I think we get Mil doing that whole, like, rocking back and forth, looking agitated type stuff. He does well at showing his facial expressions with a big mask on.
I've liked him being there because now that they're basically running the show or running the temple, just having him there as that visual, just watching everything as it's happening.
It's class.
Yeah.
Okay, episode 7 is called Death Comes in Threes, and I assumed that meant we were getting trios action. I don't recall if we actually do we, or is it trios action in the final one? It's the final one, I think.
Yeah.
Anywho, Death Comes in Threes. We kick off in the locker room with Sexy Star. Willie Mac, just referring to him by his government name.
Yeah.
The Mac says he has a match tonight with the Moth, and he wants Sexy to be in his corner. She just straight up says no. I'm liking her character work, by the way.
Yeah.
It's better than anything they had her doing, being a roll-up merchant in the first season.
I feel like the Mac needs to read the situation a wee bit there, though. I don't know why he's even asking her. She's traumatised.
I'm finding your abuser later. You want to come and watch? Come on, Mac. He doesn't, he doesn't seem like he might be the best room reader. Yeah. He walks about in his pants, for God's sake.
I think he's a well-intentioned guy, but
yes. Yeah. Anyway, he gives her this sort of pep talk, like, you're Sexy Star, you've basically not done much in the first season, but he's...
Loads of roll-ups.
He's embellishing it, and she finally just, probably to humour him, agrees to be in his corner. Look, I've had enough of men telling me what to do, just whatever. So that takes us to Marty, the Moth Martinez, quite a well-adjusted bloke, taking on the Mac. Marty is standing... what we would say in Scotland, a ball hair away from Melissa
Yeah,
Santos.
it's unsettling, but I think she nearly starts laughing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He is like, he must have his nose on her hair.
Mhm.
He's looking incredibly sinister at flapping his wings. Those things don't go together, but they do with
Yep.
Marty.
Yep.
The crowd are chanting "No means no,"
Yep.
which is probably something they should start adopting at like WWE shows, given what's going on. But I like that.
Joey Ryan as well.
Indeed. Forgot about that. Here comes the Mac as Striker begins to quote now Biggie Smalls. Just stop, please, Matt. This is why you got fired from TNA.
Is this a network note? Because I feel like even then, it's not current music that he's quoting.
That's it. I think he quotes Juicy. Oh dear. But anyway, the Mac is looking pretty angry. He goes straight for Marty Martinez. But after they go back and forward, the Moth is looking pretty deranged. He's smacking his head against the turnbuckle. That is not enough to put off the Mac, though. He just keeps going for him. Moth gets on top. He flies over the top onto the Mac. Vampiro even says, "I'm beginning to get freaked out by this guy."
Yeah.
We got a diving headbutt attempt by Marty, but he misses. We got a lovely German suplex by the Mac, followed up by a T-bone suplex, which is very nice. Then the Mac goes to the top rope, but the lights go out, and some weird sort of like a jewelry box type music plays, and a weird sexy Moth Jeepers Creepers woman comes out, according to my notes.
I don't think I had the word sexy in there in mind. I'll just check.
That might be gimmick infringement for Sexy Star. I'll maybe start leaving that out. That is enough to distract the Mac, as it would be anybody.
Yep.
And Marty hits a jumping curb stomp from the second rope.
Yeah.
And that's enough to get the win. Marty asks everyone in the temple to bow down to his sister, Mariposa.
Yeah.
No? Bow down to his sister, and Vampiro describes Marty and now his sister as a little touched. The sister then, like Sexy Star's sitting cowering next to the ring post away from this woman, and the woman just kicks Sexy to the floor. Quite incredible. What's that?
I just, like, I've been, I put myself down as a Marty the Moth guy right early on.
Sort of Homer Simpson meme backing your way into the head.
I just, like, maybe I thought the sister wouldn't be a real character, maybe be something that's in his head, but I suppose we saw in the last group episodes, Marty, the Mac,
the sister,
seeing something and being pretty freaked out. But
it should have been Marty dressed as a woman with beard and all.
Yeah, keep it light,
Well, yeah. I don't know how light that possibly could have been if he was standing naked with his dick tucked between his legs.
I feel like you took a leap there.
Sorry. We get one of these video packages about Fenix and his fighting spirit and, never say die attitude and rising like a phoenix and all that sort of stuff. We then go to the toilets, which normally in the temple is Daddy's sort of place to move and shake, if you will. But Jack Evans is there and he is attacked by Drago. He's really annoyed at that. Jack Evans called himself the Dragon Slayer. Who'd have known that a man that dresses up like a dragon and spits out his tongue would be self-conscious? But here we go.
Yeah. It really got him.
It seemed to. He wasn't speaking like Arnie, at least, which is good. Thankfully for Jack Evans, the Darewolf is here. Each of them have nunchucks. They have a bit of a nunchuck off. Drago manages to knock them down, with the pair of them eventually getting the better of him. But suddenly in the toilets, the lights go out, which sounds like the start of a George Michael story. And then the lights stay off, but Chris Jericho, no, it's some like sort of flashing lights and a Power Ranger outfit, and it's Aerostar. I only mentioned Jericho because it was like his light up jacket, not for any other sort of behaviour. Yeah, Aerostar is here. It kind of put a dampener on it for me, to be honest.
I'll be honest, I wasn't sure about any of that segment.
Okay. In terms of you weren't sure if you enjoyed it or what on earth was going on? All of it?
But both.
Okay.
Yeah.
We are told we'll go to the ring. We've got a non-disqualification match between Cage and Johnny Mundo. But it's Taya who comes out with no sight of Johnny at all. She says, Cage, Mundo has already kicked your ass. It's my turn to do it instead. And let's be honest, she does an incredible job against this absolute machine.
She's got a lot of spirit, a lot of courage. I don't know what the hell she was thinking. I don't know. I don't care that she's a woman. If anyone says to me, go and just take my place in this match I'm supposed to be having with Cage, nah, you're
I'm
all
good.
right.
Nah.
Yeah.
I've been to the 559. I know what they're built like there.
And a pissed off Cage at that. Yeah.
The very first thing he does is just completely decapitates her with a clothesline, then power slap. He takes it too far, if you ask me. He maybe makes his own bed a little bit, because he could have had this finished a lot earlier. But she does fight back, a low blow, and she hits a tornado DDT. But like I say, it does go on a little bit, and Cage starts enjoying himself just that little bit. He power bombs her into the barricade, the ring pole, a buckle bomb. Like, instead of pinning her, he goes and gets 2 tables from under the ring. He sets them up, then just comes and stands on the apron and suplexes her from the inside to the outside through the 2 tables onto the floor. Like, that's enough, Brian.
Yeah. It's pretty brutal.
Thankfully, do you think Taya might be a bit like, you took your time, Johnny? Like, I've just been getting my ass beat.
Come out after the clothesline that takes my head off. Yeah.
He's about to powerbomb her again. Johnny Mundo comes out and helps out. He's got a lead pipe with him. They get a cinder block out, but Cage manages to get away because Cage is going to stamp Johnny's head through the cinder block. He did that to somebody before, right?
Yes. Was it the Mac? Was it our guy, the Mac?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. He's very quickly turned Johnny's sort of sneak attack and just dominated him. And I feel like that's now happened several times where Johnny's tried to get the better of Cage using sneaky means and just ended up getting his ass kicked.
Johnny picks up a couple of beer bottles and smashes them over Cage's head and face, but he just laughs it off.
Completely no self.
Once he does that, Johnny gets behind Taya and throws her towards the machine and rolls out the ring.
Yep.
Cage, being he, hits the weapon X and wins. Johnny Mundo has 0 morals.
Yeah. I mean, if we ever see Taya in Johnny's corner again, I think, somebody needs to be doing some sort of, psychological check on her to make sure she's okay.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. We go to another Famous B video package. This time he has a wizard hat on, and he's talking with a woman who is like sort of stereotypical trailer trash type character, and Famous B, being the wizard that he is, manages to turn her into some sort of like glitzy glamour looking woman. I don't know what this is because this is different from what we've had so far.
Yep. It just seemed to be a I can make you better type thing.
Okay. What's the car? He is in a car dealership type thing.
I've got this time in my notes that I am refusing to be suckered in and going with it. So I'm not going to let it get me. Okay, you know that I'm going to be all about Famous B by the time I'm prepared.
The thing is, he'll be in Aztec Warfare and get pulverized
unless he wins it. Those
are the only two options.
He's not gonna be your Iron Man in it or something like that. He's either going to win or lose quickly.
We go walking down the hallway. Evilisa's come out of the office from Katrina's office. The two guys are standing there waiting like two little schoolboys, like, oh, did you get what we were after? She says, yes, we got a trios title match, but there is a slight hiccup with that. If we don't win, we need to hit the road.
I absolutely love the way it's dynamic. I can't remember what the first interaction is, but I love the way he says, you guys are idiots. It's brilliant.
I'm still seeing them as the animated dog, cat, and llama.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because he's, oh, come on, we've taken so many. It's like, we've tried so hard, sort of thing. Okay. Okay, so our main event is a triple threat between Prince Puma, Pentagon Jr., and Mil Muertes defending his Lucha Underground title. Until episode 8, this is episode 7, isn't it? Yeah. Until episode 8, I would say this is the best match we've had so far this season. But yeah, it's such a high bar. Like, this is an amazing match. It's 100 mile an hour, as most triple threats are, but it's such a high level. It's class. Yeah,
this is like, there's been quite a few where we've really enjoyed some of the matches that are really presented as main event matches. Like, I can remember we had some excellent Johnny and Alberto. We've had some great Puma and Johnny. We've had a lot of really good matches, and they all had that big fight feel, and this had that as well.
Definitely. I'm just going to start running through some of my notes, but feel free to jump in. So, to start off with, we get Puma and Pentagon, I wouldn't say teaming up, going after Mil, but then both realising, look, we need to get him out of the way if we're going to need one of us is going to win this. Yeah. But as is his way, Mil takes their heads off with a double clothesline. He hits a power bomb on Puma and then a tilt-a-whirl on Pentagon Jr.
Oh, I knew you would love the tilt-a-whirl.
It's a 10 on the crashometer. Absolutely nice. Beautiful. We might need to rename it the Milometer. Oh. He goes to work on both of them in the corner, just hitting them with standing clotheslines. The crowd absolutely love it. Then he just picks up Puma sort of underneath the armpits like you would a small child and launches him from one corner to the other.
Yeah.
We get someone must be on the outside. Let me have a look. Pentagon must have rolled to the outside. We got a diving tornado DDT through the second ropes by Prince Puma onto Pentagon. And it's at this point on commentary that Vampiro, who has been, he's been saying stuff like, how can he even compete, this little guy from Boyle Heights? We've got this arm breaker and this dead monster, and he's just a Puma. And then at this point now, he's like, Prince Puma's on fire. This guy's crazy, and all this sort of stuff. We get Mil hitting a crossbody over the top rope onto Puma. The big lad flying. I don't think we've seen him do that, have we?
No. It certainly shocked me when it happened, so it can't have happened often.
Okay. Puma hits a Hurricane Rana as he's standing on the barricade in the crowd on Penta. Really impressive. A nice suplex by Pentagon onto the apron on Puma. But as soon as, Mil's... during this match, Mil is down like a bit like Michael Myers, or a bit like Kane. Like he gets hit with something, knocks it, and then he's straight back up and just pulverising.
Yeah.
We get a powerbomb by Mil Muertes on Pentagon. That gets 2. Then a DDT also gets the same. Pentagon gets running, hits a 2 sling blades on Mil. Mil rolls out the ring after receiving these, which gives Pentagon the opportunity to hit a dive over the ropes. Puma and Pentagon decide that this is a good way to keep him down, and they both of them hit 2 back-to-back diving senton dives over the top ropes. So Mil's been hit by 4 dives over the top ropes. He keeps coming, keeps getting up. We get Puma and Pentagon fighting in the crowd. Pentagon is slammed by Pentagon on the concrete. Yep, Pentagon slams Puma on the concrete. But Mil comes flying through a crossbody from the barricade in the crowd. Gee whiz. Okay, we get a shooting star dive by Puma onto Mil Muertes and Pentagon from the crowd. Just absolutely crazy. Puma sets up for is it a 6:30? I think. Yeah, 6:30 on Pentagon and hits it. It's very often we see Puma setting up for that and he doesn't hit it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But he hits it and Mil just manages to break up the pin right at the very last second. The two guys, two challengers, Puma and Pentagon, combine with multiple super kicks, just cracking Mil over and over again and finishing up with both hitting him at the same time. Bang, right in the middle, which takes him down again. We get a backstabber by Pentagon on Puma. Then, I don't know what they call it. It's his finishing move in WWE called the Penta Driver. He sort of turns the guy inside out and lands on him. Gets a really close 2. Pentagon then hits the package pile driver on Puma. He says he signals that he's going to break the arm, but as he goes to break the arm and give it the zero miedo, here comes Mil and just fucking spears the life out of him.
Yeah.
Puma gets to his feet and gets the exact same treatment. Mil picks them both up, hits the double flatliner on both of them, and covers them both one-handed.
Yeah.
And wins. Now, I'm really sorry because I've just spoke non-stop about that. It's such a fast match. I love that Mil is like non-stop coming for them. Yeah. Not in a daft way. Just in a he's a beast.
It was he's kind of reminding me of your horror film baddie that won't die.
Yeah.
He just won't stay down. He just keeps coming back. I've really enjoyed this match. There's the good. It's a good story as an outline where you've got the two guys that kind of know they're going to need to align at times to try and get rid of that guy so that they can then fight it out. And the fact that he just keeps coming back regardless of what they're doing. I mean, the sequences where they're both doing the dives on him, like one after the other, after the other, after that, and then he's down for a little bit, and then he's back up because he just won't stay down. I enjoyed Vampiro's commentary because he seemed quite balanced for part of it, and then towards the end, I think it's when he's hit the lung blower, and then it's between maybe the lung blower and the package pile driver. And Vamps, you can almost see him standing up. He's like, come on. He's suddenly feeling like the moment's maybe near for Pentagon. But this story of Mil just seeming unbeatable, like indestructible. He's back from his arm break. These are two of the main challengers to him. And he's hitting his finishing move on both at the same time. And then one-handed cover on each.
What a statement. It's amazing. Katrina gives them both the look of death afterwards. And it's all celebrations for the Dark King and Prom Queen of the Temple. But Fenix appears at the top of the stairs with his gift of the Gods Championship, and he says, this celebration won't last long. Next week I'm turning in my gift of the Gods Championship for a match with Mil. Boom.
Got some balls, does Phoenix. Who would have watched that match?
I'll have some of that. Yeah, how good was that match? Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it's talked before about how it can be hard to get a triple threat right because you kind of need someone to be out of the equation for a lot of it. It never felt obvious that someone was taking a time out in this, and so much of the action focused on kind of a 2-on-1 situation, which made you not need to remove someone from it for a lot of it. I don't think it hurt any, even though the pin looked easy, I didn't feel like it hurt the guys that
definitely
came
no.
out without the win.
No.
And if you're, prepping, which it started to feel like for a little while, Fenix as a guy that you might make your main guy moving forward, you're now thinking, well, anyone who can beat this guy, that's, it's impossible. So if anyone can beat him, then that's like the best achievement we've ever seen.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Okay, same with that one. No post-credit scare for us. We have been given an opportunity to breathe. Yeah. But to think that we're going from that to the next episode that we're going to get is just like awesome. So hit us with episode 8, Life After Death. There's the further Biggie Smalls breadcrumbs.
Yeah, true. Need to go back through all of the episode names and Matt Striker commentary.
Yeah. What's this episode? Maybe episode 10 will be Crack Commandments? Never mind. Right.
We're going to kick off with Katarina with Fenix. She's saying maybe she should have stayed loyal to him, and she could have had life again. I'm thinking, don't fall for it here, Fenix. So we've been through this. She's played him like a fiddle in the past, all to just further increase the power of Mil. But here we go. They kiss. Katarina says it's their final kiss because tonight Mil Muertes destroys Fenix once and for all, and he will bring her back from the dead.
Man, what a roller coaster for Fenix.
Yeah.
He's down bad to get back involved, but imagine her finally kissing him again, and then she says, by the way, remember, big lad, my boyfriend, he's actually going to kill you, my bad.
Yeah. Enjoy your murder. Cheerio. We are going to have a trios title match. The Disciples of Death against the Love Triangle.
Yes.
So it's all on the line for Katarina tonight. The challengers, as we heard before, have agreed if they don't win, they will have to leave the temple forever. So I've got in my notes, they're surely winning, which means Fenix is also going to win. Poor Katarina. So I've clearly decided in my mind she's either going to have all of the titles or none.
It's all or nothing. Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to be enthusiastically cheering on the Love Triangle because I just still haven't warmed to the Disciples of Death. We have early on Havoc and Angelico just kind of getting their ass kicked on the outside and leaving Ivelisse quite isolated. It feels like that has happened a few times in the matchups. She takes quite a beating for a while and then eventually gets the hot tag to Son of Havoc. This is where I bought into it all. Havoc's going to do a move that would have had Seth Rollins on the shelf for another year. Yeah, they got me. The Disciples of Death they're trying some devious like man switches without tags, like Demolition used to do after they brought Crush into the fold. They're basically substituting the beaten down guy for a fresh man without a tag. We get Angelico giving one of the Disciples of Death a big buckle bomb.
He doesn't have, eh?
And then Son of Havoc is going to do his splash, his
shooting
his leap.
Star press.
Yep. And Angelico's going to get the win. So the Love Triangle, who, for all of their flaws, they have a fantastic win-loss record. They've got their titles back, which means they don't have to leave the temple.
Great news, huh?
But for Katarina, this isn't great news.
No.
Her team that just never really got over in our eyes, they're maybe now over.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I think we're done with that. There's probably performers under those masks that could be something.
Famous be something.
Let's see what he did there. We go to Prince Puma, who is working out backstage, and Johnny appears, and he's kind of being a well, a cocky, arrogant prick, but also acting like they're sort of best buddies.
Hey, buddy.
Whereas kind of getting the impression that maybe Puma hasn't heard from Johnny for a wee while in his isolation. But yeah, he's Johnny's telling Prince Puma in no uncertain terms that he will beat him in Aztec warfare. Poor Puma, he's been through a lot. He's lost his leader. He's just been destroyed by Mil.
Lost his title. And then to cap it all off, Johnny says you'll need to take your little giraffe tights off to the back of the queue.
He's good at being a prick.
He is. Puma ends up rage punching through a heavy bag.
Yeah.
Why did you not do that against Mil Muertes, you have to question?
Yeah, true. We're going to see Rey Mysterio with El Dragon Azteca. Rey hands an invitation to the temple. And Rey is going to be going too. So I don't know if it's actually said here, but I've got in my notes, will they be participating in Aztec warfare?
Well, you can only assume that that's what the invitation's for, no?
It must be. So, yeah.
Well, a bit of a dick move from Rey, because he's like been training this guy, and he's like, hey, you got an invitation. And then he's like, hey, I got one too, so fuck you. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Apparently this Azteca, apparently he's also El Dragon Azteca. He's also performed as El Hijo del Rey Mysterio.
Oh.
How do you think Dominic feels? No wonder Dominic's so pissed off.
Yeah.
They should have added that into the Deadbeat Dad lore.
Mm-hmm. I'm not really following, but I assume Dominic's treated like a babyface now. People have seen through all this, I assume.
Well, more people need to see Lucha Underground, and then they'd be cheering him.
Yeah.
I was telling my children that I'm going to try and grow a Dominic moustache, which they seemed quite enthusiastic about.
Okay, is that why the beard had to go? So
maybe
the moustache can come to the fore. Yeah.
That sounded like some Sun Tzu type stuff that you just said. Sometimes the beard must go so the moustache can grow.
Yeah. I look forward to seeing it. I mean,
okay.
I reckon maybe not the next time we record, but maybe the time after.
Yeah. I'll let you know if I'm banned from dropping them off at school.
We're going to go to a bull rope match now. It is going to be Tayano against Chavo Guerrero.
That's going to come out of nowhere, eh? The fact that they're having a bull rope match.
Yeah.
Not out of nowhere, but...
there was obviously the gauntlet match in our first episode where you had to beat the crew to get the shot at Chavo. But I don't remember it being talked about. It just kind of landed here. And normally, if there's a gimmick match, they kind of tell you in advance what's going to be happening.
Yeah.
Chavo is asking the crew to get in the ring and get involved, but they leave him. They just walk away. So with this being a bull rope match, I assume it was no DQ. He just wants to make this a 3-on-1 situation, but they've they sort of look with a nod to each other, each member of the crew, and decide, you're on your own here, Chavo.
Face turn for the crew.
Yeah, and Chavo's in a world of trouble now. Tayano is having his way with Chavo, but he misses a bull rope swing and hits the post. Chavo's going to use the bull rope and send Tayano into the post. Chavo has quite a bit of offense for a period of time, but Tayano is then going to get him in an electric chair position and drop him down.
That's what it's called. For the life of me, I was sitting trying to write it for ages.
I think for some reason the name popped into my head that something Bam Bam Bigelow used to do to people at times. Tayano with the rope between Chavo's legs, and he's making it move to inflict some pretty serious pain, I'm thinking, on Chavito there. We have Chavo going for a splash, but Tayano pulls him off the top rope, and Tayano is going to execute a sit-down powerbomb for the win. I assume this now leaves us with a complete separation from Chavo and the crew, because you can't just walk away from the guy and have everything be okay, I wouldn't have thought. And Tayano gets to whipping Chavo with that bull rope.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see them two move on from each other as well, I think.
Yeah.
Did you notice that they were referring, I think it was Melissa Santos referred to Tejano as like a record-holding AAA mega title holder or something like that?
Yeah, I think he hold it for the longest time, and I think it had also been referenced, had he been the youngest champion as well.
I don't think he gets that announced like every time.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, is that their way of making us forget that what's his face, El Patron, was the person that beat him, and he's not coming back, sort of thing.
Yeah. We're going to go backstage, and it's one of these kind of comic book style situations that they sometimes do, which just seems to be Mil destroying loads of folk.
It's class.
The DOD, the Disciples of Death, who obviously have kind of let the team down a wee bit before, are getting their ass kicked. Katarina, I think, says of one of them, spare him, and Mil just kind of tosses the guy to the ground. Katarina says, or not, shall we? And then they walk off. We are going to go now to Dario's place. This, what was it, 375 miles away, this warehouse where people seem to be being fed to Matanza. Dario thinks that Matanza is now ready, and Dario and Black Lotus are going to go back and take the temple back. Dario opens the doors of the warehouse, and Matanza has a very, Mike Myers, Jason Voorhees type thing going on here.
Mike, when you said Mike Myers, I thought he was going to come out groovy, baby.
Oh dear. Oh,
sorry.
Imagine the change of pace that would have been for Matanza.
Is this a first sighting of Matanza?
I think so, yeah. We've seen like an eye before in a bullet hole in a car or something like that.
He's
I think
massive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah,
he's like
absolutely terrifying.
The most jacked Slipknot member you've ever seen. Covered in blood.
Yeah. We're going to go to our Lucha Underground title match. Mil Muertes against Fenix. So in terms of in-match, pretty straightforward story where we've got this unbeatable monster, all strength, all power, and we've got the guy who just won't quit, just won't die. His name's Fenix. It's quite on the nose, but there it is. And he's got the speed and agility and all that kind of thing, and also the indication he's kind of been in the head of Mil in the past. And then we've got the tie-in as well with Katarina and what's going on in the past with Fenix. I've got everything that Mil does just looks violent. Like, he's brilliantly brutal. Perfectly plays this role. I've got a few notes. It's one I won't try and cover everything. We have Fenix on the apron, Mil diving through the ropes and spearing him onto the floor. Mil catching Fenix in midair with a stunner. Mil tearing at the mask of Fenix as Katarina's looking on. Fenix runs at the ropes, Mil smacking him in the head with a chair. Fenix is busted wide open. I've got in my notes, I'm not into blood drinking. Save that for Gangrel.
Too far from Mil biting away there.
Yeah.
Vampiro, however, absolutely loves it.
Oh yeah. That's what he's there for. Big DDT by Mil, and then he's taking him somewhere. Katarina looks concerned as they start fighting in the crowd. Fenix walking along the guardrail, and Mil just throws him off of it.
He throws him onto people in the crowd, doesn't he? Aye, that's what I thought.
Fenix dives from the balcony onto Mil. And I've got in my notes, what way is Katarina going to play this? Would she turn
never
on
even
Mil?
considered that.
I mean, she turned on anyone. No. Yeah, no.
Respectfully.
Mil powerbombs Fenix onto the announce desk. Somebody is loudly shouting, "Back up!"
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you see the guy tried to pat him on the shoulder and Mil swung for him?
Yeah.
Love that.
Vampiro says he is covered in blood, and I'm thinking this might not help him psychologically right now. We see Katarina with a kiss on Mil, and I've got, she may have just stolen your soul. But Fenix just won't quit. He just keeps coming. Fenix with a stomp on the apron, and he starts trying to tear open Mil's mask. Katarina is absolutely furious, and Mil kind of seems freaked out.
Aye. That reminded me of when Michael Myers gets the coat hanger in his eye in the first Halloween.
Yeah.
And his hair looks all like a bit like that as well, and he just looks like he's a bit lost.
Mil, this seems to just send him into a rage. He just starts absolutely beating the shit out of Fenix. Fenix lifts up a chair as Mil's about to strike him. Mil punches the chair. Then Fenix hits him twice in the head with it and throws it in his face. Both men are down. Mil busted open. Fenix has been busted open. Fenix hitting him with some kicks. Fenix flies. Cover. Mil kicks out at 2. A big flatliner by Mil. Fenix kicks out at 2. A series of kicks by Fenix sends Mil down to the mat. Fenix, I've got, just manages to execute a German suplex with a bridge for a 2.
Beautiful.
Mil with a DDT off the top onto the mat.
Yes, that is not a thing that can. Yeah. We've seen that a few times now. Has it always been Mil Muertes?
It might have been. Yeah.
That's mental.
Fenix reverses a flatliner attempt, catches Mil in a pinning combination, and Fenix gets the pin win to become the 3rd ever Lucha Underground champion. So we're thinking at this moment, he's dethroned the monster. If Mil was destroying guys like he was, and we saw what he did to former champion Puma and top contender Pentagon, Fenix has just basically climbed Everest with the win he's got. He must be absolutely elated. He, surely going to have a very long title run, you would think, because he managed to beat Mil Muertes.
Yeah.
But no. Katarina tells Fenix to celebrate while he can. He says that Aztec warfare is now for the Lucha Underground title, and that Fenix is going to have to enter at number 1, and Mil will enter at number 20. Now, we know we had a corrupt owner, showrunner in Dario, but I think Katarina's gone a wee bit too far here.
She's got power hungry.
I don't think you can just change the, it's for the number 1 contender. Nah, it's for the title. We don't like who's champion. It's a wee bit much here, Katarina. So yeah, she's hugely changed the goalpost, but she's in charge. I'll stay in my lane. So that's us. I'm not sure there was an end bit.
There wasn't. No,
maybe just done away with it.
Hopefully no. But
hopefully not. Hopefully it's when you've had a big impact match that they're thinking, let's just have that be the end of the show.
Which match did you think was better, this one or the triple threat from the previous episode?
I really liked both, but I think I preferred the triple threat.
Right.
What about you?
I liked the ladder match better.
Okay.
But they're both amazing. The thing I like about Fenix is he's not just a roll-up merchant. He is able to withstand a lot of punishment, and that's part of the reason he was able to beat Mil Muertes. Yeah. But he's also completely fearless, and when the monsters ripped his mask open, he's went back and did it back to him, and it's totally freaked out the monster.
Yeah.
And he gives all that. He seems to never be able to stop coming as well in his own sort of smaller, flippy way. To Mil Muertes. These two have incredible chemistry. I thought the match that they had, the Grave Consequences, the match they had in season 1, was absolutely tremendous. The casket match they had, and I think this is up there with it as well.
Yeah,
just amazing.
It's funny because if you think we're 8 episodes in, and I really thought Mil would have a really long title reign.
Yep.
But the way they went about doing it, I thought was really good.
Yeah.
And so much has happened in these 8 episodes. It felt like in season 1, it was maybe all happening a bit more gradually. I suppose that like the title didn't exist until partway through. It's interesting how much has happened.
Yeah, totally. I suppose we've just sort of hit the ground running.
Yeah, I mean, you've established the characters, which is a key thing. You can, a lot of the time your sequels in film franchises are a lot more action-packed than the original was.
True. Would you like to hear the next episode's names?
Yeah.
Okay, so as we know, episode 9 is going to be Aztec Warfare 2. Expect that to be the full episode.
Yeah.
Fenix, the defending champion, in at number 1. Mil Muertes in at number 20.
Yeah.
That seems... So we're going to... that, like you said, not fair. We're going to have Rey Mysterio in there. We're going to have Penta, Prince Puma, the Dragon Azteca. It's going to be really interesting to see which 20... We must have more than 20 wrestlers.
Yeah, I think so. Because we know that you kind of don't see a lot of them every week. It seems to be like a every other week sort of cycle for most of the main guys. There'll probably be some we could think of and name that won't appear in this.
So that's episode 9. Episode 10 is called El Jefe is Back. So that is going to be class, our boy. Episode 11 is called Bird of War. There's a photo of Joey Ryan. I don't think that he has said Bird of War. And episode 12 is called Three's a Crowd.
Okay. I suddenly started thinking, I hope he doesn't say anything as a name of an episode that totally gives away what happens in Aztec Warfare, but it doesn't.
Nah. So there we go.
Excellent.
I hope there's not a tag team belt, eh? There's just trios and the big title.
Yeah.
I'd like to see some more not tag matches. I'd like to see more done about the trios titles. Hopefully those guys are gone. And we get like some teams again.
Yeah.
I still would love to go back and see the team of Rick, Mac, and Killshot.
Yeah.
Get a wee run. I take it Rick is done, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen him yet, and we've had 8 episodes. There aren't, other than somebody like Alberto, who I think could still appear, but just for a few episodes if he's with an affiliated company. Whereas Rick strikes me more as he's gone and he might not be back.
Yeah, we shall see, I suppose. Aztec Warfare give us a good indication, I suppose, if we're getting 20 men.
Yeah, I suppose there could be. You never know. You could do a big return in a match like that.
And it's always mixed. I was going to say Aztec Warfare was mixed the last time, but it's always mixed. So we might get Marty's sexy Jeepers Creepers moth sister back in action. She's never wrestled actually.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go away and watch Jeepers Creepers, I think.
Nice. No, I wouldn't go for any of the sequels.
Is there like up-to-date ones? No.
I've definitely, when I've been looking for films, seen a 2 and a 3 listed, but I don't know when they came out.
The first one, we're going off on one here, but like the first one when it first came out, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
When would that have been? Like 2004 or something?
Probably, yeah. Early to mid 2000s would make sense. I rewatched it for the first time in ages, maybe about a year and a half ago. I enjoyed it. It's good fun.
It is. 2001. There's
Okay.
a Jeepers Creepers Reborn was made in 2022.
Okay.
I'm sure it's amazing.
Yeah, bound to be. Yeah.
I don't know any of the actors in it. It looks like the sort of film that Josh Barnett would be in or something. Right, Adam, are you keeping your wrestling strictly temple-based?
I like, I hear things.
I hear things.
I haven't
like Randy Orton.
Watched anything. Yeah, like I knew what happened at the SummerSlam night one with the world title, and they definitely, for somebody who doesn't watch, they definitely caught me in a swerve because I was sort of belittling Seth Rollins' durability to be a guy that is on or very near the top of the card for the long term, because he always seems to get injured. But yeah, there they go. They got me with that
it's
one.
Swerve,
fair
bro.
play. Yeah. And I'd heard little bits about night two, but I can't really see me watching it. What about you?
Well, kids were watching it, and honestly, wrestling is on here 24/7. It's kind of pissing me off, but it's just a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I watched bits of it. I watched I actually quite enjoyed. They did a TLC match with about 6 different tag teams.
All right. Okay.
Which was quite entertaining. They had the Dudleys and the Hardys in the crowd, and I think they said that they're fighting each other at an upcoming TNA pay-per-view. And then I read that Devon Dudley had a stroke. Not after. I mean, like years ago.
See, this doesn't. I mean, you can just go back and watch the matches they had. They don't need to do it again. They're there. They're on Netflix.
Yep. That's funny. Oh dear. I wonder if Stephanie McMahon will be watching. He'll be putting on his best showing if she is. Big Devon, I believe he's a big fan. Stephanie.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Well, I would keep it that way if I was you, and I'm going to try and... The kids go back to school soon, so they should hopefully get easier.
I mean, you speak like it wasn't you that created all this.
It's a fair point. It's a fair point. I'm like Katarina and watching Mil throw those disciples of death about the place. Right, 2 weeks' time, Aztec Warfare, El Jefe is back, and whatever else happens, we shall do it.
Nice.
Take it easy.
Cheers.